Maybe a little bit about you, just a short one. I am the founder of Starscapes, and then since I'll be airing it, I thought maybe we'll get a quick introduction of you.
Yeah, I've been a science communicator for more than 4 decades now. Almost from my college days, I was interested in outreach, so I've been talking to people, communicating whatever that I have learned, and through that I have learned quite a lot. So that's one part of me. Second, until recently, I was a senior scientist with the Venkateswaran, which is an organization under the Department of Science and Technology, where we have done number of projects, which even now when I think back, I feel very happy, contented because we tried many things. I mean, see, when you do science, I mean, everything you don't succeed, right?
Yes.
The point is that you make a try. So we made a huge try. Sincere try. That's something that I want to say. Some of them were also good. It's not that none of them took off, but yeah, so that's second. Currently, I am with ISER, Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Mohali, and I am a teaching faculty over here.
What was the Chandrayaan-3 mission overview? What was it targeting?
Yeah. So, see, if you look at mission to planets, particularly like Moon or Mars or planets of this kind, there are usually 4 kinds of attempt people make. One is flyby.
Yeah.
I mean, you just go very near to that celestial object, you just fly by. Okay. The second is that you orbit that celestial object like an artificial satellite. Through that, I mean, do remote sensing, take photograph, study the planet or a celestial object for long time and things of that kind. See, I'm going to use the word planet even for moon because within this space community, that's also considered as a planet. Okay, so I know that the astro community will feel bad about it, but that's how it is. Okay, so that's a second kind of a thing, orbiter. The third is that you land on that planet, soft land, not just crash, go into pieces, but soft land, like an aeroplane lands in a airport, right? So like that, you soft land, and then study the surface. Okay, be there for some time, study the surface. Many things can be done. For example, you can watch the weather, you can watch the quakes, things of that kind. I mean, then the fourth kind of project is in the lander, like a kangaroo has its baby in its stomach. You take a rover, which is like a robo car,
Yes.
allow it to move here and there. So you not only get the information about the place where you have landed, but also multiple places. That's the 4 kinds of mission which are kind of thought of when you think of planetary missions.
Okay.
So ISRO achieved the first 2, that is the flyby and orbiter, together in a way with Chandrayaan. With the Chandrayaan 1 in 2008, we went near Moon, we orbited Moon. I mean, quite a lot of interesting data came out of it.
Yes.
So the ISRO wanted to graduate to the next level. So they wanted to combine both the landing and the rover together.
Okay.
That's how the Chandrayaan 2 mission was done.
Yes.
So there was an orbiter which was supposed to orbit and give support. And then the lander was supposed to detach and then land on the moon. And then the rover was supposed to come out and then row around the moon. But unfortunately, in the last movement,
yes,
fraction of a second before landing, there was some error and then the whole mission, the landing part of the mission failed. The orbiter still functions.
Yes.
I want to point out this very important point that orbiter even today is functioning. So then ISRO said that, okay, let's fill the gap. So they planned this Chandrayaan 3. They said that orbiter is already over there, so there is no point in sending another orbiter. Let's send only the lander. So there was a propulsion module which took the lander and the rover to the moon. And then the lander and the rover landed on moon on August 23rd successfully.
Yes.
I mean, we know that, for example, while landing, some of its artificial intelligence enabled detections like hazard detection, etc., worked flawlessly. So it could land in a perfect place. And then it worked for nearly about 10-12 days out of the 14 days possible. Okay, so I mean, it's a major achievement because if you carefully look at it, after 1976,
yes,
then China and India, nobody else has landed on moon again.
And South Pole.
Near South Pole.
Yes.
Near South Pole, I mean, which is again a region which is becoming more interesting world over, basically because Chandrayaan 1 detected water.
Yes.
Okay, the water is not just for human being. If you split it into hydrogen and oxygen, it's a rocket fuel.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can use the hydrogen as a energy source if you are going to build some moon, place and things like that, right? So it's a big thing.
You've been associated, as you said, with public outreach education, and 4 decades of your life. So how did you see a sudden spike post Chandrayaan 3? Was there a higher public interest, and how does that contribute to this overall space science or understanding? How does it really benefit the society?
It did really. It did really. I mean, particularly that during the launch there was a bit of interest.
Yes.
But then almost when the landing, that is few days before landing, the day it landed, and after it landed, successfully landed, and then things were happening, there was a continuous interest among a large number of public, not just because the media was talking about it. In fact, I would really criticize that the media did not utilize the whole thing in a proper way. They were just only giving some information.
Yes.
Then the people were really interested, particularly the young people. It's not that others were not interested, but young people generally keep aloof, that kind of stuff. But then what we call as Generation Z or millennials, they were very keen. See, I think two important points I think are what capture their mind. Number one, that India can do. That is, I mean, in the midst of so much of gloominess, problems, etc., here is one which is the very tough stuff. It's a rocket science, right? And then we were able to do, I think that made an important point. The second is how modern technology, like for example, artificial intelligence and so on, were used. And then we were able to land. We were able to study moon. It opened their eyes. I mean, something like when you said that you found similar elements on moon.
Yes.
Okay, you might have read it, you might have heard about it, but it's not something that has touched your heart.
Yes.
But at this moment, it touched your heart. So now you see that the universe is we. Yes. We are not different from universe. That connect. Yeah. That I think was a very important point. I think certainly people who were watching this program around that time, young people, certainly were greatly motivated by this, because after that event, I could see that everywhere I go, wherever school, college, or gathering of youths, this is one talking.
Yeah. And I think this I saw in our Starscape's work also. The sudden peak happened post COVID, because people wanted to go out, right, and explore, be close to nature, be close to stars. But we saw after Chandrayaan 3 the kind of interest. People started coming and asking for small miniature models. They wanted to get moon maps. Uncle, point me out where did we land? Can I see it through the telescope? Of course, that's one question everybody asks. That can you show me the lander on the moon, or can you have a powerful telescope? Can you? Of course, we can't. But it's fascinating to be able to actually share those things. How do you think we can capitalize on this to have a sustained space exploration? I mean, today it's sometimes if you see youngsters growing up, there is a fascination to go to Florida, to NASA and this thing. So, how do you think longer term India can foster this? What are the benefits? What's the benefits to astrotourism? What's the benefits to STEM? And overall, how do you see it impacting education as such, or curiosity?
See, I'll just start with the word benefit. Okay, so that benefit, I want to point out two important stuff. I think the millennials may not even realize. Okay, see, when I was in school, I lived in Chennai. When I was in school, that is in 1970s. Every November, December, there'll be a cyclone, and then there'll be news of death of thousands of people. Today, you won't see such news. Why? because today ISRO has helped. Of course, the others are also helped.
Yes.
Okay, but ISRO has played a very key important part in prediction.
Yes.
Today we can predict the cyclone much before where it is going to land. You can do evacuation of people from that area. So today almost near zero human loss.
Yes. Amazing.
Is it not a benefit? Don't you think that saving our fellow men, fellow human being, our country people are very important?
Yes.
Nothing more benefit is more beneficial.
Yes.
That let's leave that aside. Okay, so let's come to the other questions. Thankfully, ISRO has woken up after their Mars mission and are outgoing.
Yeah.
Till then, they were kind of inclusive. They were not talking too much about themselves or details of the programs. But now they are willing to talk. They are also putting out good material in their website. They have opened up the launch center, created a place where people can go and watch. So they have been slightly more public connect has come.
Yes.
So this has enabled a lot of young people to go. So now I see that very similar to the kind of craze that people had about 10, 15 years ago to go to NASA, where they would have just gone only to some museum. They would have not even gone to a launch place. But today with ISRO, you can go and sit in a launch gallery.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a big change. I think ISRO has done a great job in that thing. It has impacted STEM in a great way. I mean, it has enthused quite a lot of young people. And I think the programs like the Starscape, if I am interested, what do I do? Okay, so I need a place, I need a platform, right, where I can come. Because I am not capable of it. I mean, I don't mean me, myself, but any individual, any child, any student. We are not capable. So we need a platform where we can come. Somebody who is having expert, who is having the equipments, can interact with us. You know, I cannot just randomly go and buy some telescope and start watching. I think emergence of this Starscape, programs like this Star Party are very important today if we have to capitalize whatever that enthusiasm that we have generated. Otherwise, what will happen is that I had enthusiasm, I keep that enthusiasm for some time. After that, naturally, it will fade away because I don't have any opportunity.
No, you are very right. It's like there was a lull after the Rakesh Sharma thing, right? A lot of us wanted to give vent to it, want to do something. And there are, to be fair, a lot of small amateur clubs which people try to do. But today, in an organized fashion, with ISRO also doing it, as you said, people are being able to give that vent. And every time at launch, everybody can't go. So sometimes a children's calendar, parents' calendar doesn't match. So what do they do when they are holidaying, or what do they do when they have free time? Because somewhere I think the school education has its own merit, and an outside exploratory kind of a mindset has its own merit. Tell me something, does it really lead to job creation? Does it lead to actually people taking it up? Because I know, there are not many ventures, and we face this question from some parents in Nakshatra Sabha also, right? That my kid wants to go, I don't know which courses to go. Indian Institute of Astrophysics is so hallowed, it has few seats. How many of us can really make it? So some thoughts on that, sir, would be helpful. Yeah.
See, let's look at something very key that is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, the key that is happening is 21st century. 21st century is distinctly different from the earlier times. Today, it is not information which is education. See, when I was child, most likely for most of the students, the school textbook is the only source of information.
Agreed.
Today, every mobile phone is tons of information. So education is no longer about information, but is about learning to learn. So this learning to learn doesn't come only sitting in classroom. It comes by activities like this Nakshatra Sabha, activities like Nature Watch, activities where you go out and do things, not just only sit in the classroom. So this is really creating a skill set, which unfortunately even now our schools are not able to fully fulfill. They may be making attempts, but it's not fully fulfilled. It's only in the supplementary fashion that we are providing the skill. And this is the skill that everyone is going to look for tomorrow. They are not going to look at what I know. Because what I know is going to change in another 6 months. Right? See, for example, I distinctly remember that when I studied in school, the textbook said that there is not even a drop of water on moon. Can I believe that and can carry on? No, I mean, obviously not. Chandrayaan has showed otherwise. So it's not about information. It's about how do I learn? How do I search? How do I validate what I'm reading? This skill is what is going to tomorrow the industry is going to look at, right? So when you say job creation, it's not just job creation. I think we also need quality job creation. A job which will be satisfactory. It's not something like very mundane that you do, that after doing for 2 years, you think that, oh yeah, I want a break. It should not be something of that kind, right? So I think these kind of programs create that skill, which is, I think, very essential. And as I pointed out, the current education system is not yet geared up to that level. That's I think the key point.
So the core competency of, as Satya Nadella says, the learning, curiosity, adaptability, solving things yourself. I mean, tomorrow an astronaut who goes to the moon, there's no textbook which can prepare him fully. Or goes to Mars. We can do a lot of things, but I guess those are the things, and it's not just astronaut, daily life. As you said, everybody will be on the same keel, me or anybody else, in terms of basic knowledge, because it's all available. So the difference is that someone is able to be curious, adapt it differently in a different new setting, and therefore that will set them apart.
Exactly.
And this is one of the things, a little side topic, but like AI, a lot of people are afraid. I said, so AI will anyway take away all the mundane jobs. So if you are creative and you really can actually see it as an assistant, which can enable you to go further.
And what is the fun in doing mundane job, right?
Yes.
I mean, we are human beings. We are supposed to be creative. We should be singing. We should be dancing. We should be writing poetry. We should be doing drama. We should be exploring this world. We should be creating things which will help people. Like there are a lot of people who don't have a vision.
Yes.
Can I create something which will give them vision? That's what is more interesting, right? I mean, what is the big deal in doing daily laundry? And we need to do it. But if there is a mission doing it, I'm very happy about it.
Which is what happened. I mean, transport was helped by railways. Airlines. At the end of the day, washing machine is there today in many homes. Not because people can't wash, but then they can use that time to do something else. I think that's the right way to see it.
Yeah. One thing that I think I want to point out to anybody is that the sky is ours. Sky is universal. You just need to come out of your house when it is dark and look up. That's all. It's there. Yes. So you don't need to make any special effort. You don't need to make huge investment. Yes. Okay, whether you are in a rural area, whether you are in urban area, it's available to us. It's universal. The universe is universal.
Yes.
Right? And then it's a great wonder. It's a great teacher. I mean, I can, from my own experience, I can tell you that the more that you start exploring the universe, understanding it, the more human you become. That's, I think, very important.
Awesome. Thank you so much, TV. And I think we wish all our audience a great space day.
I also join with you for wishing all of them a great National Space Day. And I think people will come out and watch. Look up. Right?
And we continue with our event. So the next one is happening in October, then November. And experts like TV graced us in the last occasion. They'll be there. So do join us and continue following us for furthermore. Thank you, TV, so much. And hope to see you again.